Greetings! What are you saying? Hello, everyone. I'm really tired. I should have two little matchsticks. Evening Captain Rex, Tavern Wars, all fricks on, we know that much. Archning, evening my brother, evening Lee Dalton, you're on. Hello, bonsoir, Miss Sherry. I am proper tired. Like, I was alright all day. And hello, Akash. Hello, everyone who else is out there. Say hello. It's always good, and I'll give you a little shout. He's already heisting. Evening, old Mark. Hey, Haney. Hello, brother. I'm sorry I haven't messaged you back, mate. You messaged me Friday, and that was like the night before UK Nats, and it was just all gone mad since then. I will be in touch. Corporal Hicks, blessed love. Saw you at the weekend. It was wicked to see you. I love you too, Jar Jar. See, when you subscribe, you get a cool little Jar Jar pop up, and I love that. So I was feeling great earlier. I was all joys of spring. I've messaged John. I was like, "We still doing it?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're not too tired." There was even a post on the page saying, "Is he not too tired?" Even in the new cape wearing Matt Skywalker Coles. Yeah, the reign has been handed over. You have to carry that mantle with pride. You've got big old shoulders to fill there. Bucket of awesomeness. Excellent. Hey, Fred. It went great, mate. It went really, really good. Always good to catch up with friends. There was loads of us there. We had a great time. Hi, Mr. Vickery. Well done. Well done. Yeah, very well done indeed. Over the weekend. Great performance. It was John, wasn't it? I always get the two confused. Which son did well? Which son? Oh, my God. I love you all so much, but there's so many of you. I forget. It's the other one. I knew it was. The minute I said it, I was like, you've just shot yourself in the face there, didn't you, with that one? Yeah. John's sniggering.
Well, they all just died on the heist.
See, that's what you get for going on a heist while I'm doing my hellos. Thank you for subscribing. You're right, Alex. What are you saying, bro? So, I was really cool. And then I got in my car and I feel knackered now. It has been an incredibly long weekend. And I have been painting all day because I've been doing like a test for what we're going to do tonight. Because I wanted to see whether it was going to work, look rubbish, whatever. Yeah, I'd love to go to the Paris Open, Fred. It was brilliant last year, but my coin purse is slightly more empty. You know, in America, coin purse, they call your coin purse your testicle sack. Did you know that? Yeah. So I'm not talking about testicle sack for all the Americans, or your ball bag, as we say in England. But yeah, it's my actual wallet. So off topic. Can you see how tired I am? Evening, Mr. P. Right, so listen, what we doing today? We're painting a Jedi Starfighter that I've converted, and it looks awesome. And I'm going to show you the paint job I've done. And the thinking behind this is Anakin's gone bad now, and this is like the dawn of the Empire. It's no longer the Galactic Republic, because it's kind of for a list that I want to paint, and I'm going to paint, and I'm kind of nearly painted because I want to fly it, and I don't really fly anything unless I've painted the ships. So I've painted 4 of the Torrents. I think the list's only going to have 3, but it's always good to have an extra one painted. And I've been reading the Vader comics, and in the Vader comics, it seems to me that every time Vader goes on a little jolly in the Vader comics, he has a squad of Death Troopers go with him. So I thought, oh, that sounds quite interesting. So we'll do it kind of this black, dark theme. So I've gone for this black with this red faded at the front. And the difference between this episode and what a lot of the other ones are is this one's like a quick paint. This is not 67 hours of painting. This is hopefully going to be this episode finished. Right, that's what I'm planning on doing. I've painted the 4 Torrents so I can show you the scheme we're going to go for. But before we do that, hey Simran, yeah, I'm black and my legs are killing me, bro. They got to put some carpet down or something. Listen, for those who don't know, last weekend was UK Games Expo, and it was the UK Grand Championship, Nationals, Hyperspace, qualifying duck race. I don't know what they call it now, but it was that happens every year, and it was awesome. So we'll be talking about that during the show, and we're going to do what we did last week, and we're going to do a stretch goal this week, but this one's going to be a bit more in depth. So the stretch goal is going to work like this. It's going to be a stretch goal that's opened up of £100, but it's going to have brackets in that £100. So The first thing we're going to do is we're going to give away a set of cards. So we've got a Pork card. This, if you played me at Nationals, this is what I gave you as a present. Right? So you're getting this little loadout. So it's a Kylo Ren silencer, the Pork card. These are free. If we don't give us a penny, we're still going to give you these. Right? So that's your first stretch goal. Ain't much of a stretch. Your second stretch goal is going to be an open-faced Clone Pilot dial cover. That stretch goal is going to kick off at £20. Next stretch goal, and John's got some lovely photos, so you'll see them in the corner as you hit the stretch goals, is a beautiful scum repaint of a Z95. Well, I suppose you could use it for Imperials as well. That's going to kick off at £50. And then the final one, and this one's a pretty one, is a Calf Scarlet repaint. This is one of the earlier ships I painted. So you're getting a real bit of history here, one of my own collection. And this is going to kick off at £100. So John's going to chuck the links up on how you donate for the stretch goals. And anything donated is greatly appreciated by my petrol tank and my fridge. And seeing as it's the first of the month, the poll tax man. I know they don't call it that no more, but that's all what I associate it with. And then I've got some pretty stuff to show you. Yeah, man's got to eat. Man's got to eat. Honest, bruv. And like I spent my whole day painting for this. So I've done 8 hours work, and now I'm going to do some more work, all for you. So please donate if you can, whatever you can. £1, 50 pence, £10, £1,000,000, a Lamborghini. I've just taken Lamborghini and Bugatti and smashed them up and created a new world. So you don't just tune in here for painting tips. You tune in here for the latest down with the kids' words. Lamborghini. It's like Bing Pot. Okay, so yeah, anyone wants to donate a Lamborghini, you know where I am. What's this? Paul Kev lost on Tim beat Rasta in the quarters. Yeah, Tim beat me because his dice are insane. 1 dice I lost that game on, but that was amazing. Can I have my other shot?
Yep.
Also, if you're not subscribed and all of that shizzle, please get and subscribe on Twitch and on YouTube, like us. So this is the converted Jedi Starfighter. Right, now you know I've got a thing for Defender Wings, and 19% of the credit for the IP on this apparently has to go to, thank you very much Wheelie, has to go to Alex Bruce, because Alex was in my house and he went, well, you stick Defender Wings on everything, and I was like, yeah, you're right, I do, don't I? So what I've done with this, if you can see, because I was naughty, and thank you very much X-Wing Shug, I was a bit naughty and did it at home because I just want to paint this episode. I've actually cut into the body slightly. So you've got the actual like stanchion from a TIE Defender and it's fitted in. And then this little slope is a little bit of green stuff just to fill out the edge and make it look like it should always have been there. And then underneath, I have put a set of underslung cannons, which just makes it look beefy. Look at it from the front, like from the front side. Can you see? I've trimmed the wings at the front, so I've taken off those silly little bits that are on, because I don't want the guns there, I want the guns underneath. And trust me, it's going to look really wicked. And I'll show you, I know the best ideas are always the best one, the simplest idea is the best one. I'll show you what it's going to look like. So this is the idea. So this is black base coat, and then it's just a really simple thing we're going to do. It's only 2 colours on the airbrush. A dark red fade, a slightly higher red fade, and then it is just, we're going to use a stencil to put this on. These stencils are available by Protect Models. Look at that, it's like you're in my head. It was donated by, as well as the £10 that he just gave, thank you very much Lee. They were donated by Protect Models, and I've just put a little stencil on, 2 different colours of grey, and then I've done this wash all over, which is how we've got back all the panel lines. This is really quick, right? We will hit this in 2 hours. Anakin's Jedi will be finished, and they look pucker. Trust me, they look really wicked. You've got a nice little bit of engine glow going on at the back with a little engine in the middle. Really simple. Anyone should be able to follow this tutorial, so to speak, and hit this level. As well, for the future, last week we painted Yoda. I'm going to get some proper pictures for you next week. But here he is on a little base. all finished with his nice little bit of detail. I changed the edge of the base to black and I glossed it. I'm going to get some proper photos of that up for you next week, so you can have a really good look. I've just not had the time with system open. He looks wicked on the base now. It looks so much better. A little bit of green. Really easy, really simple. And so much so I've been inspired by that.
Change the picture. Moving up to the next stretch.
Oh, the next stretch goal. Now, guys, you have unlocked... Well, no, you've unlocked the dial cover. And your next target is a Z95 repaint. So, you've inspired me to paint some more figures. This is Ponkrell. This is another full green sculpt that I did. Okay, so I've finally been brave enough to put it in grey primer, because I've accepted that I am going to paint it. And maybe not next week, but certainly I will alternate on some level between painting spaceships and painting figures, especially figures that I've sculpted. So this guy definitely, let's put him down. And let me show you one more, because now I've put it in a decent primer, you can actually see him. And this is Kit Fisto, 25mm. All in his kind of semi-clone armour like they wear in the cartoons. All with his wicked hairstyle. I am biased. But this is going to be another one. I'll probably end up painting Kit Fisto before I paint Ponkrell, because he's a bit of a beast, isn't he? But they're the next two I'm going to do for you guys. I really enjoyed painting Yoda. I was really scared to do it, and it come out so good, it kind of lit me fire a little bit for painting figures again, which, thank you. That's you guys pushing me. Yeah, that's what I've got to show you. So, shall I crack on? What do you reckon? Shall I just crack on with me painting? So it's really simple, this one. Old man glasses. Let's clean those a little bit.
Donations are coming in well.
Yeah, thank you. That was Simran. Thank you, Simran, for your dough. Every little bit helps. Did you say Kraken? What do you mean? Did I say Kraken? I didn't say Kraken. I never know Kraken. Oh, Kraken. Oh, crack on. I'm going to crack on. So, airbrush. Yeah, it wasn't a good one. That was probably the problem there. Scarlet red, first colour. This is really going to be easy and simple, yeah? You guys are going to love this. Actually, and this is not something I do, right? Although there's someone in this chat that constantly has a go at me and goes, why aren't you just doing that much more? And I'm like going, but my OCD itches. Because they're really beautiful, but I could go a lot further. But sometimes I've got to stop myself, and I thought maybe it's better if I kind of drop the level a little bit. So let's just test out on my hand like I always do, because I've just had water through it. So I always blow out till I've got clean paint. And I've always got my little cleanie brush, so I'll wipe over the nozzle, over the needle. Right, so all I'm going to do is fade this, all freehand. It's no big deal. John?
Yeah.
You turn that light up a tiny bit and a bit more. Is that on maximum setting?
It is on maximum setting.
Yeah, that's a bit better.
Lose the green skin a little bit.
It's going to be a bit hard for you guys to see what's happening because dark red, but it'll get more apparent as I'm going on.
So thank you to 2000 Terminator.
Thank you, Mark. Most appreciated.
And Ulfric started another heist.
Oh, he's always after the. He's
Heisted.
Heisting. If you guys don't know, heisting's quite fun. So, nationals. Let's talk about nationals. All I'm doing is fading a dark red, right? I'm not going all. I'm leaving the black at the back. I'm just fading a red, and I'm going to get that lighter and lighter, and I'm going to follow that round, and kind of like I've done with these, you can see I'm kind of getting the dark red to about the centre, but then you've still got pure neat black at the back. But because this is a very dark red, that fade, and you're using the airbrush to put it on, it won't be apparent. So these are like really simple things to do with your airbrush, rather than like, oh come on, I'll freehand some lightning. Let's get you started with that. Let's mine these three.
So
out.
some of the questions are getting lost because people are heisting at the moment.
There's three more.
But X-Wing Shug asks, if you don't have an airbrush, could you achieve a similar effect by dry brushing?
To an extent. a similar effect. Yes, to an extent. And then some of what we're going to do with the washing as well, it would probably help to like tone those colours back. But like honestly, and I know a lot of people are like put off about investing in an airbrush, but they really are not that expensive. And once you've done it, you can't believe you didn't have one before. They make lots of little things possible, and they just open up your hobby a little bit, just to different paths where you don't have to spend inordinate amounts of time trying to get like subtle wet blends when there's just a better tool for the job. I think that's the real trick. We're allowed to move forward with painting and artwork as well, and it's not cheating, you're just using a different tool. You've still got to control the brush, you've still got to decide where that paint's going, and have, you know, skill levels to do it. But I'm really struggling with this light, do you know that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm red green colourblind, and red on black is close to invisible. I'm getting there.
So only 3 people came back from the fight.
Okay.
We have now unlocked the fire spray.
Oh, so you've unlocked the Z95 giveaway.
Oh yeah, the Z95. Sorry.
And now the fire spray is your next bracket for the giveaway.
This will all be done through a giveaway like we normally do, but there'll be 4 winners. We're going to give all 4 prizes out.
Yeah, so it's 4 different people that will be winning, yeah? It won't be one person winning the cards, the dial cover, the Z95 and the fire spray. 4 of you will win. We'll start with the cards, we'll go on to the dial cover, Z95, fire spray, in the same order that you unlock them on the stretch goals.
They'll be done through one single giveaway.
Yeah, but yeah, through one single giveaway at the end, which will only be 1 spondoolie. So you'll all have that, and you're building up your spondoolis for when you're watching on, say, a Tuesday night when they're using the spondoolis a lot more. But because you guys are generous enough to actually give us some cash. And remember, if you give us 10 quid, that's 1,000 spondoolis.
Yeah, you get. Oh, yeah, we should point that out. When you donate, you do get spondoolis as well. 100 spondoolis for every £1 you donate.
Hey Matt, how you doing? So I'm continually cleaning my needle tip. Can you start to see that? You can, can't you, a little bit in the camera? Can you see that, John? The red to black.
Yep.
You can. Good.
You struggling?
It's just my colour blindness.
It's quite vivid on the screen.
Right, but look how quick. And remember, it's about your angle of attack with an airbrush. So let me explain what I'm saying. It depends how you're pointing it at something as to where the paint will catch. If you're going like that, it's going to spray on the black at the back. But when I'm going like that and pointing it up, the overspray isn't as harsh. So you're always moving your work, and you're always moving your airbrush. And when we go up with the next red, it will be quite a big change. So, nationals. It's always about them angles, Haney. It's the angle of the dangle, bruv. Nationals. I did really well. I'm well chuffed with myself. I really am. Not big-headed or nothing. I have not been competitive at all this season. I haven't put in lots of table time. I haven't done loads of practice. And I haven't really found anything I love until recently. I've been enjoying anyway till recently. And that, of course, has been this really fat Handbrake Han and Jake. And I've been playing it for a few weeks now. I won a little Warlords tournament here, pretty much the first time I run it. And I took that to Nationals, but honestly, didn't expect to win more than 2 of my games. You can ask anyone that was there on a Saturday. I wasn't feeling it. Didn't have my game head on. And I was like, there's no way I can do this with this list. There's no way. There's loads of Phantoms. There's loads of Skirgs. There's, you know, all the horrible rebel beef that really ruins it. Especially the wedge one. Just giving that a little clean out. But yeah, I did really well, and I made the cut even on a 4 and 2. Even though, but the 2 I lost were really close, really close. Yeah, I'll give you a little. You know, like you come back from war, and everyone has those war stories, right? Of like the best game of the event. Let me put this down a second. So my first game I lost was my first game, and that was against Resistance Fives. Really hard matchup for me. I went on to beat it later in the day. But then the second game I lost was the last game of the day. And that was against like my best friend in the world, Lewis Witham. And I didn't want to play this game. My heart wasn't in it. And I was ready to concede before we started. And bless his heart, he refused the concession and said, no, we're going to play the game because you're better off earning some MOV than no MOV. And he had a list that had the bid on me with 2 I6s. So he had Vader, Sontir, Whisper. This was going to be an incredibly hard game, and I knew it really was only going to go one way. And Lewis has played Handjake. Anyway, we played this game, and this epic battle ensued. And it started off in the most horrific of fashion of basically Han dying in the first 4 turns of the game for basically just shields on Whisper. Bad news, huh? I've got Jake versus Whisper, Sontir, Vader. Jake goes on to kill Whisper, Sontir, and take Vader to 2 health and doesn't die. I lost the game by 16 MOV, and at one point I was winning the game. I'd got it back. Vader hadn't half pointed Jake at that point. Dude, it was amazing, and I lost to my great friend, which I was really happy about as well. But what a game. You know those games where it's like it's stopped being a game and it's become a film and it's a proper dogfight? It was awesome. However, my MOV was so good, I hit top 32. So I was 28th, I think, and I went into the next day. And the next day I was really on fire, and I played Vader Chirinu round 1 and won that really well. Flew really well in that. I was really proud of myself. And then I played the Skirgs and just ran circles around it. I did things with Jake. I was big hairy testicles with Jake, and he survived like an onslaught of 3 of them shooting at him. Got behind them, and it was pretty much game over from that point. And then I played my teammate Tim Marsden of the live stream Dream Team. And we had an incredible match, and it came down to the last turn of the game. Again, another battle story where I was behind, had half points on hand, and I couldn't kill this Major Vinder for love nor money. Been chasing it round the table with Jake, without manoeuvre for 6 rounds. Last turn comes. I need to half point the shuttle. I need to kill Vinder. Han does 4 damage to the shuttle, just tips it over its half point because it had 2 shields missing. Legend. Jake does this manoeuvre around this rock like a pro, ends up behind Vinder at range 1 with Lone Wolf and a focus, and I roll 3 hits. And Vinder rolls, what does he roll? 2 evades. Of course he does, out of hand, and there's a crit in there, but it wasn't a double damage. So I lost it by that single evade that he really shouldn't have made with the whole maths calculator. But Tim is awesome, and to make top 8 at nationals like that, it was just awesome. And everyone I played, forget those games I just mentioned, everyone I played over the weekend was awesome. The guy I lost to and the guys that I beat, they all took it like gentlemen. They're all in a lovely spirit. It seemed to be a really nice event. It wasn't as packed out as I was hoping it was going to be, but it seemed like a really nice event. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If any of you were there, that is. Well, I know one of you was, Lee?
Thank you, Lawless124. Just donate some bits.
Thank you, Lawless. You get a sponduli for each bit you donate as well, don't you?
Yeah, I believe so.
Right, so I'm stepping up to
I know so.
Blood Red. He knows so, everyone. He doesn't think so. What, the Streamer Nationals, Haney? Because I know they were struggling with the Wi-Fi at the time. And watch part of your last game. Hey Doddy, yeah, I saw you, bro. I saw like you were like nervous to even say hello to me. It was hard, that game, really hard. Tim was flying Hatchet Man, Colonel Jendon in the Lambda, and Darth Vader. And Tim's an expert, yeah, proper expert of how to play X-Wing. And it was, but he's bloody hatchet, man. Would he die without manoeuvre on him? How many turns? One after the other, after the other, after the other. He just kept evading all the time because of that slam ability. Right, so blood red. Now I'm going to concentrate way more on the tip, or on the edges, and I'm okay with getting my brush really close because I don't want it going all over the place.
Just another £5 towards the.
What have I done? I've turned this this Jedi Starfighter Ryan. Ryan's in the chat. Big up Ryan. Into Anakin's new ride. Anakin's gone bad. This is bad Anakin because I've got some Imperial torrents to go with him. Death Trooper torrents. Right. See, I like a little story behind my stuff. So, little news on Ryan and the Angel Gabriel. Angel Gabriel was due to stay in hospital for another week, but suddenly some miracles happened and he's getting to come home. He's got to go back every day for his antibiotics and his IV and all that, but the positive vibes worked. So thank you for anyone that took a moment out to either message Ryan or just even have a little think about his situation. That's what I'm all about, so thank you. And yeah, Ryan, well happy for you, mate. So happy for you. So I'm just catching the tips of the wings. You can see that, right? You can see the difference. Much brighter red on the tips. Darker red going into the black. We're not going mad with this. This is not the whole I'm going to mask up every panel and I'm going to do little hard edges. None of that. Nice and quick. But you'll see that the overall, when it's finished, will be beautiful. Who said thanks?
Right.
Ah, cool. Hope, mate, when he's proper better, you come up and do a little tourney up here with us. We'll make a fuss of him, don't worry. There you go. I think we're almost done. Nice and simple. Just a bit of transition, black to red. Nothing major. Anyone can do this, yeah? So that dark red's going more into the centre and then the light red at the front. That's all we need to do. I'm going to put a little touch on this gun, though, because I do want to be a bit... It is Anakin ship. So I'm just doing... See this little piece here? I'm just going to... Just grab a little red on that. Just to give it a little something there. And I've caught the underneath. That'd do. That'd do. I really don't want to turn this into like an airbrush excellence class. That's it. That's all we need to do. Thank you, Alan. Really appreciate that. We're not far off the full stretch goal. It's pretty amazing. Thank you so much already. 67 quid. I'm gonna eat vegetables and meat this week. So that's it. That's all we needed to do. So what did I do next? Stencil. Stencil is the next thing because I want to do the logo before I do any washes, because the wash, I'll show you on this. Can you see how the wash has dropped the panel lines back in, right? And it's faded. It's a black wash we're going to do with my model wash, but you'll see what we're going to do now. Really simple. I'm thinking of putting the stencil, funnily enough, over the front of the ship. I wasn't thinking of doing it on the wings. I don't actually like the ideas of that on his wings, because he'd be like, no, you're not doing that. I want something a little bit more bling. So I was thinking of it kind of on one side. In fact, right, let me talk you through these stencils. Yeah, I get named meat at 150. These are stencils from Mr. Dalton. If I show you really close, you can't even see. So you can see these are ones I've used, right? And these little white gaps are the bits of the stencil that I lift out with a knife. So they'll come to you complete where you can't see anything. Yeah, I'll pick a bit out and you should be able to see. If you can see that faint white, that's the cardboard underneath. So you do that, you pull out all the parts of the stencil you don't want to use. These are, I do believe, 10 millimeters. How am I going to measure that? Have we got a ruler? I'm pretty sure these are 10 mil. Lee, what size would you say these are? They look 10 mil. They look 10 mil. But I am a man and we do like to exaggerate, don't we? Captain Rex, man, he does loads, and I'm sure he does you like a little kit where you get lots of different sizes. We're gonna. We found one. We found one. It's got one on it, innit? Yeah. Take it back. My own Swan Morton has it. On it.
You've got a Swan Morton.
Yeah, look, handy tip. There's a ruler on your Swan Morton. Yeah, 10 mil. These are a 10 mil stencil. So I've got a couple here that I haven't used, and I'm going to use this. Just purely because I need this sticky to be as sticky as possible. But these are reusable, yeah? I will use them multiple times, a stencil. Right, but one little bit of advice I will give you is that stencils really like to stick to gloves. So this is probably when bare finger would be better. So let's pull that back a bit more. I want to get it wrapping round the actual ship. So I'm just smoothing it on as best I can. Do you know what I've done there? What I need to do is I need to slip that under that gun. So let me take this back off. It won't hurt it. I need to go under there like that. See, because it was getting caught on that cannon. Actually, that's probably a better idea. And now I'm just going to try and fold round. I've never actually used one like this. So this is a bit of a live experiment as to the results. I'm sure it will be fine. Right. So I've just pushed that stencil on, yeah? So these are nice and simple things that will take your, oh, I can't freehand that, and I can't freehand the Imperial logo. Who can freehand the Imperial logo? Bloody Michelangelo would have struggled to freehand the Imperial logo on this. Because you're not painting on something, you know, really flat and really big. So I'm going to get a little bit of masking tape as well, just to go around the edges, just to stop any overspray. This is really the most complicated part of this paint job. But I'm sure you all use something similar when you're at school at one point. Because it's grey that I'm going to spray, so I wanted to put that little bit of tape just because you will get that little bit of blow over. It's such a light colour against the red and the black. What they saying? What they all saying, John? You got to tell me stuff.
Lee's just asking somebody, so I'm responding to him. Somebody else asking where to donate, which I will put up now in the chat. So nothing to worry you. Pretty little head about, Rasta.
Oh, he called me pretty. I like it. Right. Whew. Is it hot in here, John, or I have a hot flush?
Oh, well, you are getting to that age.
Do you see what I put up with? Sod. I am, to be fair. Me and all the other old sods were all complaining.
I'm older.
I know you are. We were all complaining this weekend at Games Expo about our legs. Oh, my knees. Oh, my calves are killing me. None of the youth. They're all walking around in flip-flops. Every time I see one of the youth in the flip-flops, I look at him and I go, you regret that in a few years. You want a nice pair of orthopedics from Clark's.
Big thick soles.
Right, I've got to wash my airbrush, everyone. So be patient.
Yes, Matt Witham, he sent us some beautiful big tokens.
Have they turned up?
They have turned up, yeah.
Matt, I will be sorting out what you asked for. Just give us a couple of weeks on that and we'll have that sorted for you. Matt is awesome. I can't wait to see those on stream tomorrow. I may not be here tomorrow night because I've got Scarlett and it's all depending on whether she's too tired to come or not. But if I am here, I look forward to seeing them. In fact, if I get this painted tonight, if I am getting this painted tonight, I've set myself a challenge, I will play the list on stream. First time ever, no practice. If they let me, of course, because they had me on last week. And they don't like me on that often. They're like, get off. It's not all just about you. So, first colour of grey. Sombre grey. Only need a couple of drops because we're only going to do a tiny little bit.
This way you have to put it really careful so you don't get overspray.
Yeah. But I mean,
can't blast it.
You can't blast it. Hey, thank you, Phil.
Brilliant.
Right, so I'm spraying through on my hand. Sorry, guys. I'm spraying through on my hand because of the mixer paint. It'll always be that bit until I've got back to grey. I reckon I'm at grey now. You can see. I test on my glove all the time. And you kind of don't see that because it's a bit off camera as I'm doing it because the camera we're using is so small. So just to catch, all we're doing is right over where you're working. I'll demonstrate like this. I'm not going to do it, but I'm right on top. So I'm vertically above that stencil. And then I'm just going to, let me just give it another little push. And then you're just going to give it a little, gently. Do not blast it. If you get loads of wet paint, it will run. Yeah. That's it. You see? So the paint's dry. It's coming out and it's almost dry.
You got to go with the stencils.
Now look, I'm actually going through the gap in the wing, but where my needle is past the wing. Look, right? So I won't get spray on the red, but I'll get it on the edge of the fuselage. Fuselage. Did you like that, John?
That's a big word, mate.
Yeah. That's like celeriac.
I had some celeriac at the weekend. My mother-in-law's 70th birthday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Mrs. John Pirate John Silver, Grand Pirate John Silver. Right, that's it. So dark grey on. Now swap colour to... What are we going to go to? Where's that grey? There it is. Stonewall grey next, guys. And then I'm just going to blast the edges. And that's it for airbrush. And then we're going to do a wash. A little bit of edge highlighting. Pick out the canopy. And it's finished. Ninja-ness. I'm even going to varnish it. I don't want to go too quick. How long have we spent so far, John?
Yeah, you're doing right. You're about 40 minutes in.
Okay. I'll need the rest of that time. The last bits are the slower bits, to be honest.
It's great when you get these colour schemes, isn't it? And you can do like a whole squadron.
Yeah, it just worked. I never used to do like paint a list to look a colour scheme.
Right.
I wasn't into that at first, and I slowly have really fallen in love with it.
Yeah. It's theming you.
And that as well, having a little idea. Where I've read something, it's kind of inspired me a tiny bit.
Yeah.
And I've gone, right, I want to do like a bad Anakin, just become Vader.
Yeah.
They've still got all the old Jedi starfighters knocking about. They've still got all the clones. So they have got the stormtroopers coming through, but they're not going to just bin that stuff. They'll repaint it, reuse it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, retrofit stuff. Where Anakin was clearly the best pilot, it was like, I want a set of them. Defend that prototype Defender program we've got. I want to test those wings out on my starfighter.
I'm used to this shit.
And this is meant to be a Delta 7B chassis, which is meant to be a bit more beefy. So it kind of makes it look a bit more beefy.
CPL Hicks 1986. I said you're going to do the engine glow.
Not with an airbrush, just with a brush. You don't need to do it on something that small. You tend to make a mess. So getting an airbrush just to give you those 2 points, it's not going to get you any better an effect than... Unless I want all of that glowing at the back, and I don't. I don't really like when people overwash lighting effects with an airbrush. My taste. So this is for me. If someone wanted that extreme glowing, but if you really look at the films, the way most of the engines glow, they don't leach light out like that. The burn's right in the centre. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So Archin was saying it's good to read the comic books and get inspired.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's great, and we were hoping that Mr. Brooks was going to be with us today to talk about the up and coming Mandalorian TV show, because he knows a massive amount about the background.
But he's lost his black and white cat, and he's been looking for it, but he can't find it. So if anyone sees a black and white cat called Pat, let us know.
What was the cat called?
Pat, wasn't it? No, that was the postman.
Pat and his black and white cat.
What was the black and white cat from Postman Pat called, everyone? Spot prize. You get a free hug.
Jess.
Jess.
Yeah, I think it was Jess.
It was Jess. Now he says it. I don't know if the actual...
They're all coming up with it now.
The all proper the Americans will have had that in America.
Postman Pat.
They got Teletubbies, but that was a bit later on, wasn't it? I don't think they would have got Postman Pat.
Don't their postmen go around with shotguns and stuff?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Everyone goes around with shotguns, John.
Is that right?
Yeah, everyone. So look, there we go.
Nice.
So nice, quick, simple. I am going to bin this stencil, right? Because I bent it out of shape. So it ain't really no good for nothing. But they're so cheap, it doesn't matter. But when you're using them just like on flat surfaces, all the ones I used on the other ships, I've put back on the sheet, and they're completely reusable. So really easy, really fast. Let's give that a hair dry before I wash it. Right, so washing, really simple. No, why do I do that? Why do I do that? Turn it upside down, like as if they're there and I'm here. Vallejo model wash. This is black. No messing about. This is the stuff you can remove. I'm just doing a couple of drops into my palette. I'm getting a big old brush. Look, quite a big one. I'm getting a little bit of water. Or water. Depends on what end of the country you come from.
Captain Rex, what would you recommend to strip old paint from ships?
Isopropyl alcohol. I think that's how you say it. Nail varnish remover.
I've used brown dettol before.
Yeah, but if you leave it in, it weakens the plastic.
Yeah, it does. You have to, and it will take any super glue or any glue apart. But it has to be brown dettol, totally undiluted. If you dilute it, it doesn't work.
So isopropyl alcohol. I don't have to buy an airbrush. So what am I washing? All of it. No messing about. No finities. I'm just going over everything. I'll take off what I don't want in a minute. This stuff's great because we're going to be able to take it off and we're going to be able to get back that really bright red, but leave really dark black in the panel lines. This is not like using an ink, a GW ink or something like that. It can be removed. That's the real trick.
Font says going to have to buy an airbrush. Yep. Which airbrush would you recommend?
The Iowata Neo is your starter, or what's this one called? The Revolution.
Yeah, the Revolution.
Or the Revolution if you're stepping up. Both available from Weekend Warlords.
But you spent ages using the Neo, didn't you?
I've only stopped using the Neo because we said let's get the next one up and do an airbrush review, purely, and I just loved it. It was worth that extra bit of money. I haven't looked back. But yeah, my Neo's still sat on my desk, and if I ever need to use two at once, which I do sometimes, that's what I use.
We have a new viewer, I think.
Hi, Hapon Igric. Wow, too many vowels in there for me. Hi, Apron. Yeah, you've actually just missed me doing all the airbrushing. I've just done a 2-stage, just a little red fade, and I've just done a little stencil for everyone. And we're just putting a wash over it, and we're going to give that a second to dry. In fact, I might even, with the washes, do you know how well the whitewash shows up on black? I've never used a whitewash on black. They
do a whitewash.
Yeah, I know they do a whitewash, and I probably have the whitewash,
but
never used it.
Used it on black. It does work quite well.
I don't know why. Why would you use white on black though?
If you're trying to do like a reverse sort of flame effect, so the lighting comes from within inside something.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It does work reasonably well.
Oh, you'll see pictures of it. Don't worry, Matt. And we'll have pictures up here on one of the next streams. So see you later, brother. And you wear that cape with pride, bro. What was the sorry Rasta? I've just got the bottom of that.
I think it was Apong apologising for his.
It's cool, bro. I take the mickey out of everyone. I can only say things with 2 syllables. So even like, thank God, Pro-Tech models. Because if that would have been all one word, I would have been lost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You can read words. That's not the issue.
I never thought of that. I never ever thought of that. You guys are clever. You just taught me something. See, I'm learning with you. All right, let's get me air dryer now because it's had a bit of natural time. A few of you have been sending me pictures of your work, and I will be giving those to John for the next episode, and we will be doing a little like gallery of some of you guys' work. I mean, one of you Pi, you sent me a picture of your Orc War Boss on what looks like a Star Wars pod racer. So cool. And I know they're not all going to be Star Wars, but they're going to be some of your works.
Well, we've got a few more people.
Yeah.
We'll put more.
When we got a
together.
few more pictures, we'll do like a little section where we show you them all up in the corner like we did. So Q-tip time. Q-tip, cotton bud. Depends which side of the water you're from. Dip it in some clean water. Take off the excess, and we're definitely going over the front. Right, so you can see straight away, yeah? That's black wash on my Q-tip. So we're getting back some of that red. And because it's black, it doesn't matter over the black. You're just cleaning it off. But we've suddenly got panel lines. It's really easy effect, really simple. Clean over the edges because that's where we want them to be nice and bright red again. Turn it over. Let's get the other side. Kind of, yeah, it's just as simple as this, guys. This effect, you should all be able to replicate it with an airbrush. And I mean, this really is an effect you could do with the cheapest Chinese bargain basement. You know, your sister's got one, she uses it for a nail varnish airbrush. It is just 2 fades. And
yeah.
No, go on.
Oh, is it Mr. Santel? So the stream is going all take heart then. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
We might even see if we can get the take.
Do you know what? If I could be Tony Hart, I'd be Tony Hart. And if only we could afford CGI enough to have an actual morph in the studio that's walking along the counter and having a fight. I do believe it was Chad.
Yeah.
It was Chad, wasn't it? Yeah. I loved the little dog. You know the brush that was a dog?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I loved Morph. Another one probably the Americans in the stream won't get.
Morph. Yeah.
You had Bob Ross. We had Tony Hart. Tony Hart was like a kids artist, though. He'd done this kids show called... he was a really good artist, though, apparently. Not that I know. I was really young, but I loved it so much. So, just bit clean off.
Can we have Ash be Morph?
He's a bit too tall, though, isn't he? What colour was Morph?
Sort of brown.
Clay brown.
Clay brown, yeah.
And Chad was like grey.
Sort of grey, yeah. Grey sort of buff colour.
What is an easy X-Wing ship to paint? X-Wings aren't easy for a start. I don't know, a little Jedi Starfighter would be a good one for you to start with, though. Because they're nice and small and you could paint some pretty freehand on them, and there's loads of reference for all the different Jedi, so there's loads of different repaints you could like copy. I know I've certainly got to paint an Ahsoka and I've got to paint a Mace for someone. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty good start for you. Yeah, I loved Art Attack as well. A-Wings are fun to paint. I've been flying Hand Jake so much that I want to paint it now. And I want to use the Corellian Falcon from Han Solo the movie, and I want to do that prototype paint job I showed you, which was the white with the red flames because it's fast, And then I wanted to do an A-wing conversion to go with it, with red and white, same red flames, white bodywork. And I worked out how I can use half of this, right? So I'd take the wings off here completely, and then I'd cut an A-wing at the back, and I'd put the back end of an A-wing, and it fits in between these two engines, with the two extra engines going into that. Cut off this part at the front on that line, and then put part of the front of the A-wing in here. So you'd have this, I mean, I might even leave these wings, just cut that off from underneath. So you got this new type of, I don't know, smuggler A-wing. That's what I was thinking of doing, these two smugglers, Han and Jake, and they're doing like a spice run. They've stolen some blue milk. You know, like the old moonshine runners, the bootleggers in America that used to soup up their hot rods.
Hot rod.
That's where it all come from. It was a bit like that.
You do it in hot rod colours?
Yeah, red and white. Red flames, white bodywork.
Yeah, wicked.
So Lee, I need stencils for that A-wing, please. That not for the A-wing, for the Falcon, that fit that Falcon shape. I'll send you the picture. Right.
Somebody's kicked off a heist. I'm not sure who that was.
So just so you guys know, we got a stretch goal going at the moment. We're at 68 of our 100. We hit 100. We will be adding to that lovely fire spray that's pictured in the corner.
They've already unlocked a few, haven't they?
You've already unlocked a Z95 full repaint, and you've already unlocked a dial cover and a set of cards. So 3 prizes to give away at the end of the show. So on the last ones, I did repaint the canopy in black because I got a bit of blowover, but I haven't got no blowover here. I'm going to put in some base colours now. So I'm going to pick out those cannons, and I'm going to pick out anything that needs to be silver, and then we're just going to knock those back with the black as well. So just some standard silver on a silver tray, just to make it even harder for you guys to see. Stepping down a sizing brush. Not the smallest I use, but not the biggest either. And I'm just going to catch those barrels. So again, the colours I've used on the torrents are being mirrored on this, so you get that continuity across the list. A little hair there.
Fighting broke out again.
Have you lot been heisting?
Yeah, it's 4 of them come back. Random Haney, Rattler 84, Death Revived 1991, and Wellbound 87. That Wellbound 87 is a jammy.
Every time he gets it.
Yeah.
Pie, on the last Tuesday night stream, I think he did it 3 times on the trot and died all 3 times.
Yeah.
Every time he did it.
But then he has been lucky on the giveaway.
He has won all the giveaways. So just getting some silver on the guns. Once again, this is just simple painting. I am going to pick out, we've got some nice little engines here. I'm just going to go around the edge of these engines. So because we've got the black, any colours we're putting on, they give a lovely contrast. The canopy I'm going to do with like a blue glow, all hand painted, and that will be my spot colour. So, you see now I've got a little bit of silver on that black, but that's alright. I've got most of it with my finger, but I'll do a little touch up with just black at the back. That's the only thing about using Q-tips, is it does leave the odd hair, and because I haven't got great light in here, I'm finding them as I'm painting.
So Johnny 6, the heist won't work again for another 5 minutes. It's on cooldown.
Yeah, because each time you try to bomb the Death Star, they get wise to your plan. You have to give them 5 minutes to forget because they got the memory of fish. So a little bit of silver there, a little bit of silver on the guns. I'm going to paint this R2 unit silver because I'm going to try and do a R2 unit, like a regen droid. Is it R2 or an R4? It's the black and white one on the card, the silver and black one with the stripes.
I'll tell you in a minute. The stream will tell you.
I know they will. I'm waiting for them to all jump on me.
Oh, it's R2.
It is an R2. So I'm going to start with silver, and then I'll do black, then I'll redo a bit of silver. I'll do it in layers like that. Makes it a bit easier. Is there anywhere else I want to catch a bit of silver?
The pie missed the start of the stream. He said, how easy is the conversion to stick the defender wings on the Delta? Just drill a hole and pin job?
So yeah, I did drill the whole way through the model, and I cut slightly into the fuselage so that those defender buttresses actually went into the bodywork of the Jedi Starfighter themselves, as you can see. It just made it look a little bit more like it was meant to happen, because originally I did have just the wing bits attached to the side of the Jedi Fighter, but it needed the little buttresses just to stand it off a little bit. It wasn't that hard at all. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I did, is I moved this mounting point for this magnet further back. It is here, and this I just put a bit of green stuff over and a little bit of plastic just to make it look like a gribbly, just to hide it, because I didn't like where they mounted the centre point of the ship. I wanted it further back on the actual the model itself. But other than that, the two guns are from, is it Shapeways, something like that. That little set I used when we did the Sith Infiltrator, they were just in that little pack. So
thank you, Ulfric, for the cheers.
I am going to just catch, catch those two little bits with silver that are in between the TIE Defender wings. Should imagine they can be extra guns. And then where else did I want to do? Yeah, these two. See these two circles? I'm going to just do those. It's just to add in a little bit of detail. I'm going to put a wash over that, so you don't have to worry if you've got a bit of silver in the gaps. Because this is quite you know, there's not a lot going on the model once we've painted it like this. So we just want to pick out a few bits just to give a bit of interest when we're done. So that's base colour. It's pretty much the only other base colour we need to add is silver. I'm just going to have a drink because my mouth's dry.
Still short on the stretch goal.
I brought Defenders in droves, Pie. I love the wings. I've still got 4 of them in boxes, not even out of the packets. Not gonna lie, after enjoying my list at the weekend, I do want to pimp Vader, Felt and Vinder rides. Yeah, Vinder's a beast. Cost me the cut. I got a really good idea. Wait, watch this. Look at this. Look, let me show you something. Nice ship, right? Turn it upside down. What have you got? You've suddenly got the top of a lander. So you now have to cut that canopy off, use it upside down, attach that to the bottom of a gunboat. I think I could see a new gunboat prototype about to happen here, ladies and gentlemen. That looks cool, doesn't it, upside down? Forget about the canopy. If you had like a fuselage or something at the front, that could be another ship. Simple. You sometimes look at what is there already, you can see other things in it. I agree, actually, an unpainted fell is a dead fell. Isn't that funny? You've got to love Fell to fire Fell and not let him die. And if you love Fell, you'd paint him. Right. I need a little bit of black as well. Just actual black. Because I just want to touch up round that astromech. Slightly smaller brush again. Because I went over ever so slightly onto the rim. And I don't want to do that. So I'm just going around the edge of that. And then there was that tiny bit underneath that I just caught. Just going to go over that. That's it. That's book taking done. Now, to paint the astromech, I'm going to put... So I've just painted it all silver. Then I'm just going to paint like a blob of black and leave a silver ring. Rather than trying to paint a black ring, Then I'll paint another blob of silver and then a blob of black. And I should end up with like a stack of pancakes, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to simplify doing something that could be complicated. Read that one out for me, John.
Went to Calgary Harbour Special Trial, packed the wrong model, was only base coated. He died like a chump. Finished the job before the local trial the next weekend. Fell goes up versus the world and comes out ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
Death revived those.
I will not use unpainted models. Simeon is exactly the same.
You're off camera, sorry,
Oh. Right, I've got to hold my breath a sec, guys.
Thank you, Lawless124.
I saw the lovely Law at UK Games Expo, looking radiant. So I know it looks like on camera I've completely painted over everything, but I haven't. I've left a little ring of silver. You see the little ring of silver?
Yeah, you can.
Just about see that little ring of silver? I mean,
your monitors.
my monitor's a bit crap, guys, that I'm watching on.
This one's not much better, but it's a bit better.
So there. So there's a little ring of silver. Look all the way round. So trying to paint that line would be a nightmare. So now I'm going to go and put a spot of silver over the top of it.
Just a reminder to those who might have Amazon Prime, you do get a Twitch Prime free subscription if you've got Amazon Prime. It'd be great if you applied that to our
page. Yeah, and anyone out there that's not supporting us on the Patreon, please do. We've had our Patreon subscriptions fall off quite dramatically over the last few days, end of the month. We only want $2 a month out of you. You can go for a different bracket, but $2 a month's what we're after. So please go out there and sign up to the Rasta Maice Painting Patreon. It's all part of the Weekend Warlords, and it helps us to keep streaming.
And if you do it live, it will pop up on the screen.
The stretch goal at the top of the screen helps me to keep eating different things.
BG Griffith 512 Rasta, are you and Simeon coming towards this year?
Oh yes, we are. We are indeed. Very much looking forward to it. Should in fact be sorting our flights out with Asmodee in the next week. That's what I was told anyway.
Going off camera again? Slightly.
Sorry guys. So now I've painted another blob of silver and left a black line going round. I've actually just nipped into that black line a little bit, so I've just got to touch that up. But that's my OCD. Most people wouldn't even notice that.
So those watching on YouTube, you can actually do super chat if you want to donate. We're not exactly sure how that works, but we've hit 1,000 subscribers, which means we now have super chat on YouTube. So there should be an extra button there somewhere, I think. It's all new.
That's it. So
John Holt says, I'm actually in on trying.
Josh Holt, hello mate. Oh, it's Josh Holt. I feel honoured. Got Josh Holt in the chat. Go on.
I'm actually in on trying to only fly painted ships. People think you have tons of games in with them since you took the time to paint them, but in reality, my first game round one, but I tend to top 4.
I think they do fly better. I don't know. I can't help what I believe, what stupid nonsense I believe, but I believe a lot of stupid nonsense. I believe in Jedi. There's a dollar button on YouTube.
Yeah. So that will, if you've got a specific question, I think that will hold it higher in the chat, I believe.
So I'm just fixing a little mistake that I noticed. Just got a bit of silver on that, as I must have been moving my brush about. So just fix that with a little bit of black. Oh, that's an easy fixed. Right, so the R2 droid's done. Look, It's got the black and silver lines running down it. You can't really ask for much more than that on something that scale. You're not going to get any more detail. You might want to put a little single spot of grey somewhere just to represent the eyeball, but it's as good as we really need it to be. How do you paint pose? Have the pose. How do you paint pose X-Wing if I already have the Poe X-Wing? What? I've repainted my Pose X-Wing black as well, if that's what you mean. I just didn't like the stock paint job. I wanted a better blend, I wanted sharper highlights, I wanted a brighter orange.
Weathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more weathering.
I closed the wings on mine as well before they ever did closable wings. Obviously can't open my wings, but I converted and painted black out, and it still rolls 3 blanks on defence every first engagement. Kev. Sorry. And what happened in our game then? Eh? Oh, how we forget quickly, Pie. Right, so the Astromech's done. I'm going to go back to my black wash. Remember that we used early, and a bit of that water's come out, so it's a little bit stronger. So I'm going to go over these metal areas. So just straight over that. And straight over that.
So Mr. Spurgeon asked about whether we're giving away templates. We will probably be giving away templates on the Tuesday stream.
Tomorrow.
Possibly. Depending what else we've got. We've got some other bits and pieces, I think.
But I think he's meaning because we hit 1,000 viewers.
Oh.
On YouTube.
YouTube. Possibly, yes. You're just off camera there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm just going over the silvers because that chainmail was quite bright, and I just want to knock it back and add in some shadow on the silver areas. Really simple techniques now.
The Pie wants a unicorn this weekend.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't got tickets to our Saturday or Sunday tournament, please go and get one. We're a little bit low on numbers. I'm sure that's probably something to do with the fact there's just been the Games Expo. Sorry, guys.
Right.
I'm just going over that line down the centre a little bit. Just wanted a little bit stronger line on those two.
Yeah, Amish Josh is right. We probably won't be giving the templates away because we didn't get the 1,000 viewers in the time frame that we needed.
Right.
For it. We said a week and it went over a week.
Right, okay.
But we'll be giving stuff away, and we probably will.
We'll always be doing giveaways.
We are trying to get YouTube to work with Spondoolies like Twitch does at the moment. It's something I'm looking into.
Was that no small rocks this weekend, Rasta? Who was that, Pie?
Yeah.
Good man. I don't like small rocks. They boil my brisket. Did you like that? I made that up. That's a Rasterism, they're calling them.
Is that a
Rasterism? Wow, so we got 60 of you guys on. 60 of you watching. So we're nearly at our stretch goal of £100, which will unlock the fire spray giveaway. So if you haven't chucked us a quid, please feel free to. It means the world, and we'll get that stretch goal open, and then 4 lucky people will be winning one of our awesome prizes. I'm getting more and more like QVC. I swear to God, we need Ash here. I don't do the QVC things.
They just heisted again. Alan Barlow and X-Wing Shug came out with that.
Excellent, Alan. We'd love to see you, mate. We really would. Right, so that little bit of wash I just put on that paintwork, I can clean off again. This bit on the main fuselage. I'm going to say my big word again. And on the weapons themselves, I'm just touching. Thank you very much, Terminator, for giving us some bits. I'm just going over the edges of the silver, and I'm going to hit them now with the hairdryer. Bit out of shot there. Right, now to add a little bit more weathering, I'm going to do a bit of brown. So same model wash, but this time the dark brown model wash. And so I'm going to go over the guns, and this will add a little bit of like aged weathering. Just really simple. You're just putting that glaze over it. Just going onto the barrel a little bit, but mainly on onto the muzzle, but mainly you want it on this barrel.
So Archie says the next time he comes over to the UK, he plans on swinging by and bringing chips.
Oh, awesome.
So Tuesday night arching or the second weekend of the month are our big X-Wing times.
But let us know when you're coming, mate. If you were coming to the UK and you weren't here on those days, and you let us know,
Yeah,
people will come up and meet you and play games with you, without a doubt, including myself. Because I do like to play X-Wing.
Paul Stain, you can chuck money at us lots of different ways.
Oh, it's Paul Dane. Hello, Paul Dane.
You can donate directly on...
Yeah, show him. Chuck that link up, John. Chuck it up, son.
that link.
Boom.
That's the best way to donate to us, because every single penny of that comes to us. But you can also cheer bits or subscribe to the Twitch channel or do super chat on YouTube.
So I'm going to address the canopy. Before I do any of the little graphic highlights which will make this finished, right? I'm going to do the canopy. So Imperial Blue first. Right, so I'm going to switch up.
So Ulfric's asking when the Vets weekend will be. It will be October.
When, though? Because, you know, we got Nats.
Yeah.
Or we got Worlds.
When? Do we know the date of Worlds?
Yeah. Ulfric, what's Worlds week? Ulfric could tell you. Yeah, the wash is Vallejo model wash. It's very specific that it's Vallejo model wash.
14th.
Because they do Vallejo inks, but it's not the same stuff as the model wash.
Okay.
It's on the 16th to the 20th.
So we'll probably be at the end of October, I'd imagine.
End of October. If worst comes to worst, first week in October. But we're aiming for end of October, guys. So I'll get back from Worlds, have like 2 days to catch my breath, and then have to play a tournament. Thanks, John.
You should be at your peak.
Yeah, or burnt out, totally. Right, so we got the black canopy, and I'm going to start this dark blue at the front, but I'm not painting right to the edge of the canopy. I'm leaving like a tiny, tiny little black line. So
Darth Ponce asked, do I want lists sending in for the weekend? I guess he's talking about yes, please send them to sales at weekendwarlords.co.uk if you're playing this weekend.
Don't get us wrong, guys. If you just found out on that Saturday morning you can get down and we've still got places, come down and play. It doesn't stop you from coming if you haven't submitted a list. Whoa!
£25.
Whoa!
Right
Thank you, Azona. Everyone in the chat should give you a shout out because you've just tipped it over. We've unlocked the full way of our stretch goals. Thank you to everyone who's donated. Don't let those of you that haven't donated, don't let it stop you because of those nice, generous people.
But we will now put the giveaway up.
So now you have got, show them what they got, John. Can you put them all up? You can't. You never thought of that, did you? You never thought of doing little ones.
Let me have a go. I can do anything, mate.
Right. So I've just done some blue, kind of softened back. It's really dark blue, this blue. It's almost black. The blue works really well because the red's from like one side of the colour spectrum and the blue's from the opposite side of the colour spectrum. So often when you paint a model, you often try to have a colour of the opposite side of the colour wheel, says the colourblind painter, because it creates interest and draws the eye. So then we're going to move on to magic blue.
I haven't got a picture of the cards.
Oh, we don't need a picture of the cards. They know there's cards as well. So I'm going to get a bit of the magic blue and a bit of the imperial blue as an in-between tone between the two, because there's quite a big jump from the magic to imperial.
There we go.
There you go. That's what we're giving away, guys. That's what you've unlocked. You've unlocked the dial cover, the Scum Z95, or it could be an Imperial Rebel, because that is kind of post colour scheme, and the Calf Scarlet repaint on a fire spray. So
yeah, thanks for that, guys.
These are all magnetised, and these are all Rasta Maice painted ships. So, and they're from my personal collection. So you're getting something that I've loved on deeply. Right, so I've gone round with a lighter blue, and then I'll lick my brush or moisten my brush, and I'll kind of feather that out a little bit. It's very hard for me to describe, but it's kind of you blend that in a wet way. You soften it out. You haven't got as much pigment at the back as you do as where you just put it down. And then I can go back to the same colour. This is where thinning paint comes in, and then you go to exactly the same area and you have a stronger blue again. And again, just feathering it out, and going to both sides and going up the centre of the canopy. A little bit of moisture will allow you to create a thinner slip, so to speak, more of a glaze, and then you glaze onto the darker colours.
Shipped $20, £20.
Oh, thank you all for it. Thank you so much. Super stuff. Thank you to everyone. You've all been so generous tonight. And then we'll go to Neat Magic Blue. So each time we step up the colour level, we paint less of the area, and we become more and more considered about where we're putting our colours, because this is a big colour jump, right? So we're almost thinking, I want, you know, the lights coming from the front of this cockpit. It's running just up the side, so I've got a nice line. And then a bit of moisture will let me take a bit of that lighter colour, but make it slightly translucent and work just up the centre without it being oppressively strong line or an oppressively strong highlight when you're trying to create this sort of glow effect on the canopies. Now, the more layers you put into any of these glow effects, the better they'll look. So you could break this up into hundreds of very, very tiny shade changes if you wanted to. There's not really a need to. Look, you can already see it's naturally starting to give that a glow at the front. Then I'm going to step up one more colour to Electric Blue. And this is going to be a real final highlight. Right at the front. Almost like a spot of light hitting it. And then I'm going to do, right at the back of the canopy where I've done nothing, I'm just going to like catch it with a little line. Tiny little, can you see that? On the black. So it's got that same light blue, but right at the back. It kind of represents where when you have a gem, for example, you'd have the light hitting the front and it'd pop out at the back somewhere. I don't know, it just works. Don't ask for me for maths, I'm not Sheldon Cooper, for God's sake. I'm all about the feels. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's as far up as I went on the others. I did, you can see. That's the glow there. And that's the glow there.
Okay, so what are we doing for ticket cost?
One
Spondoolie. Yeah.
You can buy one. And you
how many tickets per player?
One.
Just one?
And
a
they get an
bonus
extra
one if you're a subscriber.
So before you subscribe, before we put this up, we'll give you a chance, if anyone's not subscribed, if you are a subscriber, when you enter our raffles, you get an extra ticket. All subscribers get an extra ticket over and above the maximum tickets allowed. So this is going to cost you one Spondoolie to enter. There will be 4 winners. First one, set of cards. Second one, dial cover. Third one, Z95. Fourth one, and the big prize will go for the fire spray. It's one Spondoolie to enter, and if you're a subscriber, you get an extra one. All you have to do is type exclamation raffle when it starts. You don't even need a number because the maximum is set to 1. So you can see we've got those two glows. Canopy's done.
Are we ready to go?
Go for it.
It's up, guys.
What time are we at, John? How long have I spent? How long have I got left?
You have been on 1 hour 26 minutes.
So I've got 35 minutes. I'm getting there. I'm just going to clean my airbrush because I've left some... Oh, I just splattered myself. I've got splooged. I'm going to clean my airbrush because I left some grey in it. And if I leave it open like that, that's when it gets dry and hard to clean. And I need to use this to varnish it because I'm going to varnish it with the airbrush as well. keep looking down there. I should look up there. It looks like I'm looking in the ground.
Raffle's going mad.
So whether you donated or not, guys, you can enter. But thank you to those who did donate. And for those of you who didn't, shame on you. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. But really, shame. Right, cool. I just needed to get that clean. Otherwise I end up destroying my airbrush. Right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to step up, just like on this. So I've only used a single colour. It's gold yellow for the reds. And I've picked it. Oh, thank you, Will Band. Thank you so much. And I've just catched a few sharp, cartoony edge highlights, right? It really pops. It does. It looks better on your monitor. My monitor looks terrible, man. I almost feel like apologising for the paint jobs because of how bad my monitor looks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It is bad.
It is bad, right? And then you can see at the back and on some of the black, I've got some high grey highlights, which is just the Stonewall grey. I don't want to do any more than that, right? I just want to keep it simple. Let's just check those metals underneath to see if that brown.
Thanks for the gifted sub, Ulfric, and X-Wing Tavern Wars for the bits.
Let's do another coat of that brown wash on that gun while we're doing our edge highlighting, because I just want to make it look even more grimy and rusty in there. That's all. Just I added some brown. Okay. Right. So edge highlight. Let's start with the yellow. Simple as anything. We're just using a bit of sun yellow. Now this is maybe a case of my experiences. I know where not to go too mad. You're not trying to catch every edge on this model. You are trying to look for a few little edges that will give you something to draw the eye and will define the geometrical shape that you're painting. So clearly the first thing is going to be the tip. So when you're painting this sort of highlight, this paint is quite, I've got water all over me, quite translucent. So that's why we only need to use one colour, because the first one will show the undercolour through a bit. And as we put an extra layer, it will get stronger and stronger the more we go back. So you can see that little faint line, it's almost orange because of the red. And then if we go back over the right front again, we can build up those yellows how we want. Don't have to make a complete line, just like I'm doing. So like I pick the front of that bit there, but not go all the way to the back, and then there, then go back. Right, you see what that did? See how that's added a whole different level to the model? Really simple. This is, for you guys, this is not ridiculous level. Specifically wanted to do this. So I'm trying not to go over where that Imperial sign was, because it's a different sort of colour.
Would you highlight that separately?
Yeah, I'm going to catch that with what I highlight the black.
Yeah.
Don't actually know if I want to go up there with that, with the yellow here. Just a little bit. Because we're getting right into the black. That's all I really wanted to do on the front. I'm going to add in some highlights on some of those panels with the grey. Right, let's just catch the actual front of the ship, because you will see that as you're looking at it and playing with it. And because there isn't much to this, I am going to do the underneath, the same areas that I've just done on top. Now the torrents, I didn't bother to paint underneath them, because they still look great like that, but there was a little bit more to the edge work on the torrents. So they didn't really need that, but because this like main point is big part of the design of this ship. We want it to pop from whatever angle you're looking at it. It's enough. And back over that. So as the paint dries and you apply a second layer of the same colour, the yellow just becomes stronger and stronger. Which I've talked about so many times, about opacity and how you can create more than one colour with a colour. A couple of little bits, just catching them a little bit. Maybe a little touch just on the centre. Because it's thin, it becomes like an orange. Same with that, you wash it out. Feather on a bit of an orange at the front. So we've got a nice bit of detail on that bit of red. Now I'm going to continue to do the same thing on the wings. Again, it's really just going to be the tips. It's one of the reasons I took the guns off of this, is I wanted to be able to just catch these corners. We don't need to go like up the whole wing. We just need to do these front parts.
It'd be quite good to do this on a stream and do the actual ship as the giveaway.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that is planned for the future, John.
Yeah.
A lot of these things you're seeing as well, if I don't want to keep them in the future, you might well be seeing this ship and the torrents that go with it as part of a giveaway. But certainly everything I'm doing on stream, if I ever do decide to get rid of any of it, it won't go on eBay, it won't go to general sale, it will go through the stream first. So that you guys that have invested time in watching it could potentially get to own it. Certainly when I have the Kit Fisto bust cast, that is definitely on the list of that's what I'm going to do with it.
That's going to be amazing.
I'm going to paint it live. When it's finished, then I'm going to get it out to there, get it out to the people.
When I first saw it at your house, I just thought it just needs airbrushing. It just will look so amazing when it's painted up.
So the inside, I'm just catching a couple of gribblies.
Lee's just asked if you want to paint a dragon for him.
You shouldn't have brought 67 dragons, should you, you lunatic? You brought like 1 million dragons.
What, at the show?
Yeah, at the show. Lee, I'd probably walk over hot coals for you, mate, so I won't say no, but we'll have to talk about that. If you mean will I paint it on stream, I'll have to think about that. And my God, it's been a long time since I painted a dragon. The last dragon I painted was for a gift to a retail customer in China for Forge World. It was actually one of their buyers that I had to paint this dragon for.
I must admit, I'd love to see a dragon being painted.
It'd be a lot of airbrushing there, and then a lot of washing, because the detail should be there to allow you to do that.
There's a video of me painting a dragon live on stream somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. That one in the window, the white one.
Really?
Yeah.
Who knew, guys? There are videos of John's face on the internet. They haven't been pulled down by the police or nothing.
Yeah, it would be tricky fitting the dragon under the camera and airbrushing it. That would be.
I think, yeah, it would require different
setup.
Different setup. Yeah. That's it. Red highlights. Now some blacks. Now some greys. We're really motoring with this. Oh, I just want to catch those engines with that brown. I forgot about those engines.
You and John could have a dragon painting showdown. I can paint a little bit, but not like Rasta. It would be no competition.
So I'm just putting some more of that brown wash that I was using. I forgot to do the engine bits, just to make them look grimy. It will need another coat because they're quite light, the silver still. I want it knocked back a bit more. It's okay. While that's drying, we'll start doing a bit of the opposite side. So now I've caught light at the front. Now I'm going to catch light at the back, just with the grey. And that's all. That's going to be kind of wrapping up, and then I'll varnish it and I'll gloss the canopy. But this is the last stage, realistically. Oh, I've got to do the engines, but it's just 2 colours. But this is really all this is. So we're getting closer and closer and closer, as you can see, to a set of matching ships, or a little matching squad anyway. It's going to look sick on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
And no one's done this yet. No one's done that switch over into being bad. They're still playing them as like the good Jedi. And
Yeah. Yeah, we probably could get the dragon on the stream. We'd probably have to move out of the back room and under the
do
actual
it like
rig.
we used to do it.
Yeah.
Right, so the first and most apparent thing that I'm going to edge highlight is that rear wing.
Lawless124, what paintbrushes do you use? We have discussed this on stream before.
I am using Army Painter at the moment.
Let's
take that off. I'm using Army Painter paintbrushes at the moment, and this is a War Games detail size. I also use, just been given some Broken Toad paintbrushes, but they're not available anymore, I'm afraid. But yeah, certainly don't buy the cheapest paintbrushes you can buy. That's never a good idea. Invest in a half decent brush.
Are you going to be using this at the weekend?
Don't know about at the weekend.
Just fold a bit, Rasta.
Don't know about at the weekend. Who asked that?
Death Ponce.
Oh, Daft Ponce.
Daft Ponce.
I'll bring it though, dude. I'll bring it for you guys to have a look. I'm not sure if I will. I'm still like a bit in love with my hand Jake at the moment. So.
Oh, you got them okay, Marty. That's good. Marty's got his brushes. Sorry they were a bit delayed shipping out.
So I'm literally just like rubbing the edge of my brush along the edge of some of the black panels, and they just start to pop out a little bit. We can also pick out.
You have your dial display at the weekend?
I will have my dial display. Is that Art Ulfric?
No, nobody's asked. I was just
Yeah, I will have my dial display, and I will have a good, pretty much everything in my range available, bar the IG88. I think I've got everything else, and they'll be coming back into stock soon. So, yeah, if you've never seen it, get down and have a look. Is Ulfric with us this weekend? You'll have to lend me the Darth Vader dial cover, because I lent it to Lewis to take to Italy. So I'm just finding a few little lines on the model to pick on, as you can see. Just pulling out a little bit of detail, nothing major. Always going back. My grey is drying a little bit, so whenever you feel the paint's getting too thick, it does not flow nice. Add a little bit more water to it.
I think somebody tried to enter the raffle on YouTube. I think it was Josh Holt. You need to be on Twitch at the moment to get it to work.
Josh, if you're still out there listening, bro,
it was a little while ago.
Jump on Twitch and put your raffle entry through Twitch. I'm afraid they don't work through YouTube.
Random Haley started a heist. Garth Ponce is ordering dials soon. Corporal Hicks, 1986. My Port and Vader dials are awesome. Heist is going mad now. It is possible for everybody to win the heist. But
Is it?
I don't think I've ever seen it happen. Just off camera.
Sorry.
That camera needs tilting.
Like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we
That
go.
might help you a bit.
That's helped me loads. So when I go off camera, you guys think I've moved really far. I haven't. It's just like 2 inches. And it's really hard to keep yourself often in not exactly the most natural position. Because I'm trying to stay. So just a few little picks on the black. Starting to lift the edges. Go over this little edge here on the
Successful mission, but fighting broke out. Rattler, Wellband, and Mr. Stander.
what made it back.
Yeah, made it back. Just three of them.
Wellband always makes it back.
It cannot be defeated, he says.
So I just picked out a couple of edges on the guns underneath. There's not too much I want to highlight underneath because you're never going to see it. And this is not one of my OCD paint jobs.
There are 37 entries and 59 tickets into the giveaway so far.
Wow.
It's probably our biggest giveaway ever.
Wow, guys. Amazing. Right, and the last bit's just going to be on the back of the wings.
The Show Monroe. It's good to finally watch you live from across the pond. Great work.
Where's this? Oh, it's gone. The Show Monroe. Was that what it said, John?
The Show Monroe.
Monroe.
Yeah.
Hello, bro. I'm not sure who you are, but thank you very much for tuning in. In fact, where are you watching us from over the pond?
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of overseas viewers that are watching us from over the pond. So it'd be nice to see what new bit of over the pond is watching.
Post it now, guys.
Yeah, post it. No one do naked in the bath, please. Jeff Ball, I'm looking at you. Pie. Bengar. Just no.
They're making up their own commands in the stream now.
What are they putting?
Exclamation mark, assassinate Wellband. Exclamation mark, retract kill order. In actual fact, you can duel, but it's not turned off.
Turn it on! Turn it on! Let them kill each other.
Yeah,
That'd be hilarious.
You can duel each other for spondoolies.
Oh, that's all the stream would devolve into. Is them just dueling.
Turn on duels.
So just that little black edge. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going mad with it. I'm just catching a black edge.
They're all telling me to turn on duel.
You know who'd win though? Ulfric.
Ulfric.
Because he's got all the money to keep fighting. What happens if you duel someone that like ain't got no spondoolies?
I'm not entirely sure how it works. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Oh, you guys might have got John to switch on dueling. Yeah, let them have it, because they can't spend a lot of spondoolies on this show, because we're basically doing it now for one. So they don't need them while they're watching here.
So you put in exclamation duel, and then the username of the person that you want to duel, so you have to get that from the stream, and then the number of points, and the points need to be from 10 to 10,000. I believe that's on now.
Fight, 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 fight. Have we got anyone dueling?
Bengal.
You don't ask if someone wants to duel, you just...
You can accept by exclamation accept or deny within 2 minutes. Okay, so you have to accept the duel.
Are you dueling over a lady's modesty?
Amish Josh won the duel.
Against Bengal?
Yeah.
That's what you get, Ben, when you pick a fight. Maybe it's teaching them a moral lesson. I'd love if it was.
Spurgeon has offered a duel against Jeff Bull. Yeah, I think you need to put the number of spondoolies after the person's name if you want. Otherwise, it's just no value. Yeah, there's some smack talk going on in the chat now.
You see, this is the problem. You guys can't have nothing nice, can you?
No, just
you got to spoil it. Got to bloody spoil it. Right, so engines, simple. A bit more of that electric blue. Paint that first. Over.
The pie's trying to do exclamation mark order 66.
Yeah, but you'd kill the guy who's doing all the painting if you executed order 66. So we're just painting in those engines. It's just that bit of blue's just wrapping onto the lip of the engine.
Lee, I don't think you can challenge Wellban again. You just cancelled a duel.
Oh wow, Jackal, thanks very much, man. Or lady, I'm not assuming anything. Please send any letters of complaint to the Stockport Sift Takers, 186 Londonshire.
Oh yeah, you might have spelt jewel.
You might have spelt jewel wrong. So a bit of blue in there. Going to let that dry a second. I'm going to have a sip of my drink because I'm dry. Oh!
That's right, you're going.
Thank God having me children days are over, because my coin purse just shrunk a little bit.
Do you want a drink, Master?
Oh, I'll have another bottle of water, please.
Yeah,
Do you know I haven't drunk Red Bull for 5 days, John?
Really?
I've given up Red Bull, John.
No wonder you're tired.
I've given up Red Bull, John.
Have you really?
After drinking it every day of my life since I was 17. This is the longest I've not had Red Bull for.
Really?
Yeah. And I have one cup of coffee in the morning and then water.
This is the most caffeine I've drunk in months.
Who's fighting there?
They're all fighting each other, can't keep track of it.
Oh, sometimes I have washed my brushes in my tea before and drunk painting water. No, Archie, I love the smell of it and I love the taste of it, and I was deeply, deeply addicted to it, and I literally have to have one every morning, and I haven't had one since Friday, and I'm since last Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday was the last one I had. And I feel much better. Really good. First day was terrible though. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I really couldn't keep my eyes open. And it's that routine. Yeah. It's not good for all that stuff in it. It's just too much of it, isn't it? See? Water. It's good. And apparently most of us are dehydrated all of the time because we should be having at least 2 litres of water a day.
Jeez. I'm
I don't want I'm not Dr. Phil. This is not Good Morning. I do apologise for
Maybe
my
we should do
tangents.
that.
Do you know what I
Send
mean?
your problems in. That's your sort.
Yeah, one episode I'll show you how to correctly inspect yourself for testicular cancer. Do you know? John's go, how do you go from 1 to 100 that fast, George? Right. So I'm going to get a little bit of wolf grey. This is just for the highlight on the engine. I've got a bit of that on my where are we at time wise, Jonathan?
We are 1 hour 53 minutes.
This is like the most perfect length of a paint job ever. So I'm just
Move across slightly.
oh, just look, I just filled the hole with the tip of my brush, and I left a little bit of something in it. Sorry. That's all you need to do. That's enough of a glow. That's it, boom. Perfect. Really simple. Control, simple. Don't make too many mistakes. Don't go too mad. I'm going to air dryer it, which is the same as a hair dryer, but you use air. That's what she said. GIF.
I don't know. They're making their own stuff now.
I'm just putting one more little bit of that grey.
The Show Monroe, who makes your stencils under your blade?
Protect Models is in the chat. It's Mr. Lee Dalton.
I'm sure I'll throw another link up. You did one earlier.
Lee, activate the Dalton. Oh, Rattler. Hi, Rattler. And I know you're not Tatler, so hi, Rattler. Rattler's not Tatler, everyone. Right. I'm going to varnish it. This is my preferred method of varnishing spaceships. Vallejo matte varnish. Oh man, and if there's anything bespoke that you'd like made, he will make you them. Just because he hasn't got them on his website doesn't mean you can't contact him, and he will bespoke make to order, which is pretty amazing. You don't get that a lot of the days anymore. So I'm going to put a spot of water, just a tiny little dribble. Wow, thank you, Wookie Outrider. That's amazing.
Like a paint seal, yeah.
What, this?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, oh no, listen, you know I won't touch my models without gloves on. You shouldn't be touching painted ships unless they've been varnished. They will just rub off everything you've done. Now, this is just literally a coat. Full spray. I've completely pulled my airbrush all the way back. Keep it moving. Don't hold it still too long in one spot. See, it goes a bit like milky almost. It's when you want to back off a bit, but that will just dry out. It looks like milk. Right, so don't let that freak you out when you put it in. And it goes the most amazing matte. Let's let that dry naturally.
Do you find the varnish can give it a bit more depth as well?
Yep,
sometimes?
totally.
Yeah.
Lifts all the colours out
Yeah.
once you've... Because often you're looking at the shine of a base coat as well.
Yeah.
You can see it going matte on screen. Look at it. Look how matte it's gone. Let's wrap when brushed on rest for those of us without a brush. It seems to be fine. Yoda was brush varnished. I brush varnished him, and that's what you got. So it's just as good. You need to make sure the varnish is thin though, and better off put on 2 coats than try and use it really thick. That's not good. So that coat's dried. I'm going to do it again. You'll see it getting all wet.
John, how good's your texture? Yeah, pretty good. What do you need, Lee?
See it all wet. We'll make it all dry. It'll go all matte. It'll be good. Just leave it a second. Let the natural thing happen. If I send a picky, can you show it?
Of course I can.
Yeah, of course you can. It's safe. Well, we'll be the judge of that, Lee. We've seen some of your safe pictures.
Yeah. I was sorting out the 1.0 old art cards the other day in the pricing, and I turned them over and there was just pictures of naked Lee Colton there. Send it to john@weekendwarlords.co.uk. That'll be the easiest.
That was at john@weekendwarlords.co.uk, Lee. Sorry, I had the hairdryer on. So gloss varnish with the brush. Again, really important that we water it down. So a little bit of gloss varnish, tiny bit of water, because we've only got a small area to paint. The larger the area you're going to be painting, the more water you're going to need, because you do not want this drying as you're brushing it. You want to keep it wet and do maybe 2-3 coats. So as soon as we get this gloss on this canopy, the canopy will pop, the blue will pop, and the black will deepen. Once you've got a coat on, leave it. Don't be messing with your brush with it, because it dries really quick, and as you mess with your brush, you pull all brush lines into it and makes it look horrible, especially the gloss. Just going over the engine outlets, which will add to the glow, a little bit of gloss varnish. Now let's just give that a little blow with the hairdryer.
Lucky Call Sign has initiated a heist. It's with a H, Lee.
Here's another little tip. I've just hair dried it because I want to do another coat, but give it a second. So now when you make the surface hot, warm, and you try to apply gloss varnish, it'll instantly dry and then create horrible brush marks. So just give that a second if you're using a hairdryer to speed up the process, to let the surface temperature come back to normal. Little pro tip, because that's caught me out before and it's ruined things. Right, should be ready now for literally the last brush stroke of this session, and a fully painted, finished Dark Anakin's Jedi Starfighter. 14% IP rights go to Alex Bruce of Walthamstow. Just a touch wetter on that.
Random Haney, why hair dry over your airbrush? Why would you use, just not air from your airbrush?
Because, that little bit of heat does cure the paint.
Yeah, and you got limited time.
And do you know what? Sometimes my airbrush right now isn't clean. and it will spit. There could be a little bit of something in there that all of a sudden I've just spat on the model that was like, whoa.
Ben Lane,
Oh, that's a really good idea, Ben Lane.
Yeah,
really good idea, mate.
That.
Really good idea, Ben Lane. Ben Lane, give Ben Lane 10 spondoolies, John.
Cool.
In fact, give him 50 spondoolies for that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. 50 spondoolies, Ben Lane. And who was it that said Postman Pat's cat? It was Captain Rex, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Give Captain Rex 50 spondoolies. Ben, I love you. That would have pissed me off later as well when I got home. It totally needed that. So, my glasses are really messy.
Captain Rex says, are you still running the compressor out in the store? Yeah, we've got a 10,
Yeah, we got
20 foot.
We have got it in the other room, so it's not like right under me.
24.
Because it can be a bit annoying. There you go, look, and I got... Where's the other ones? Look, and he's got a nice little squadron of them to go with him. All with the same sort of markings. That's it, he's done. Right? You must appreciate that looks better than you're probably seeing on your screen because of the limited angles I've got to show you at the moment. And the reason why these are on cocktail sticks is because I haven't got magnets yet. Whereas this one, look, you can see at the back. Yeah, Haney, I'll show you. Because Haney likes to know about magnetising. So, this is my go-to. So this is a 4mm brass tube that I glued to the base. I cut to length. And then I glued on, I do believe that's like a 6mm ball bearing. And then that's sanded with emery cloth. And then on the back of the model is this magnet that has like a recess, a divot in it. This is available from Green Stuff World. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're the only place I can find them so small, recessed. Then you go like that, and you have full movement. They're great for this. Exactly the same underneath Anakin. In fact, let me take that masking tape off now that's dry. So a bit of masking tape's gone. Same little magnet situation on the bottom. This is just a painting one, that's why it's all black. But same sort of magnet situation, so you get the movement. And when you're playing your games, you can move them about. I love to do all that. It just makes it feel more like I'm having fun. Was there anything else? I felt like I've forgotten something on that model. What have I forgotten? What have I forgotten, George? What have you forgotten, son? That's painted, that's painted. Nope, that's it. That's it, guys. That's it. That's the making of the dark clones with the beginning of the Death Troopers and Vader when he still was flying a modded ETA. So I will get some awesome photos of that taken for you, so that next week I can pop it up and you guys can have a better look. Let's sort of get you some looks down. It's hard, isn't it, for you guys to see it? But look, really simple, really quick. It was under 2 hours, start to finish. Not with the conversion, but under 2 hours to paint the ship. It's really pops. It reads really well when you're like 2-3 foot away from it, like I am now looking at it, which is what you want it to do. This isn't going to win you Golden Demon, but I wasn't trying to show you that. I was just trying to get you a nice little exercise with your airbrush, a nice overall paint job. You'll have a nice squad that will stand out on the table from everyone else's. Yeah, that's it. That's our quick one this week.
It is, yeah. I've just got to do a couple of things. Alan Barlow, yes, I know that you've won some stuff. It hasn't been sent out yet. I've got a pile of stuff to do. I usually wait until I've got a few things, and then I'll just hit it all at once. So it's definitely coming to you, the stuff that you won. It will be sent out this week. And Lee Dalton says, thank you very much for his dials.
Ah, Lee! Yeah, these are the latest ones. It's just that Darth Maul's photographed at a funny angle. Lee's got a load of light bounce on that, but that's cool. These are the latest ones I did for Lee. Lee's a great friend of mine, great customer as well, great inspiration, in fact. And there's a Sontier Fell dial. There's a proper Imperial K2SO droid, but he's not K2SO. Half his squad number is on his head. And Darth Maul. Lee's big into his imps. Whenever I do anything imp related, Lee will have one. And Maul was really...
Maul's looked brilliant.
You know,
yeah,
he's an imp, really.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a Sith Lord at one point, you know.
Yeah.
I know he kind of goes against it all. But thank you, mate. I've had a few of you send me pictures of dial covers that you've painted, and they look fantastic. I love what you guys are doing with them. You are a reason I liked you. I got my K2SO the other day. It's so lush. It's lush, my lovers. It is. It's because I made it with love. And Ryan is going to be casting up the new ones this week. So expect to see Dooku and Anakin and Ahsoka coming to you in the next week or two. Okay, so should we go to full camera?
Yeah, and we do the giveaway, I guess.
Oh, that's better. Oh, I'm so tired tonight, John.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm not surprised.
I'm tired. I've painted 5 ships today. I'm happy with that. That's quite a lot of work.
That's pretty good. Get one done on the stream.
Get one done start to finish on the stream. Well, I mean, we did Yoda in a sitting. It was half an hour longer, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But we did Yoda in that sitting.
Yeah.
And we've done that in that sitting.
Yeah.
It's just a nice one for you because, like, the Infiltrator, I am going to do ones like that, right, that are going to take a few weeks to do, but I didn't want to do that to you all the time and make them, like, almost these unreachable feats and where you could only pick little bits. That was almost like if you were to go back to this video back and forward with the same colour paints and the same sort of ship and did exactly the order that I did, you should be able to hit that mark. And that's what I wanted to give you. I wanted to give you kind of like pretty, really pretty. And this is definitely up there level with commission painting. So if you were to pay someone to do something like this, you'd be happy with it. But it isn't Golden Demon Women. It isn't a movie accurate paint job. It isn't 18 hours of work. 2 hours, I've got my character ship painted, I've got my 4 torrents painted, and I can have some fun with them. Well, maybe not tomorrow because hopefully the magnets will have arrived, but if they haven't, I might be using 3 torrents on cocktail sticks and just jabbing them into my opponent's eyes as a way of winning. I like the mix of shorter and longer form projects. Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. That's kind of the idea. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. If Lee Dalton, who is in the chat, can get me a set of masks to fit that Millennium Falcon, I'll send you the prototype picture tomorrow, Lee, before next Monday, so get to me for like Friday or something. I may consider starting Falcon and A-Wing repaint.
Would that be a longer project?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I'd probably do is I'd convert the A-Wing on stream.
Yeah.
And then paint parts of both of them on stream.
Yeah.
Maybe not from start to finish, but covering enough of each technique.
Yeah.
Because it's such a big model.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then finish some of it at home. But it would certainly be 2 or 3 episodes at a minimum. There's no way I'm painting a Falcon in less than 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Absolute minimum bottom dollar job for me because of the size of the model, and it's got to be nice at that point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and it's white, and white's hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, white is a lot more work than painting like that red fade on a black.
Yeah.
A lot more work.
Yeah. Just to let the stream know, on these bigger projects, our intention, and when we've started working on it at the moment, is to actually bring you a time lapse of the actual overall project.
So the Infiltrator, John's he's clipped out. We've got 8 hours of footage on the Infiltrator, and he's clipping it into a 30-minute time-lapse video with a voiceover. I'll do a voiceover, and then you'll have a 30-hour reference video without all the chit-chat and without me saying subscribe and here's what we're giving away and all of that. You won't have that. You'll just have a condensed.
And they'll probably go to the Patreon page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well. So and if you're a Patreon, that's how you're going to get access to that video. So please, really, like, what did we hit on our stretch goal?
£140.
Well, I mean, like, I can't. 140 million thank yous go out to you lot.
But I mean, you'd normally sell those ships for.
So the Calf Scarlet itself you'd be looking at £140 commission for something like that. So I'm trying to give back to you guys a little bit. People get to own nice stuff. I get to sell some of my work and eat, which is always important because this don't just happen by itself, you know, guys. This takes a lot of work to look this grey and this haggard. Eh? Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't appear on stream. At least you got a hair.
Both sides of my head.
Yeah.
Because I have a large brain and nature gave me the ability to keep it warm.
Yeah.
Whereas yours is
stone cold.
It's stone cold. Your Lord, you keep threatening. I'd just pick your pineapple off and we would have a pineapple burning ceremony live on stream.
Yeah.
Right, so
close the entries.
We're going to close the entries, guys. I'll tell you what to do. If you haven't entered our raffle, it's #raffle. I'm going to give you like a minute exclamation mark raffle. If you haven't entered, I'll just give you another 60 seconds to do so. And then we are going to be drawing for a set of cards. See, look, there we go. A couple of them had forgotten.
Hawkshead's the only one who came back from the heist.
Was he?
And he came back with 3,000 spondoolies.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. No.
Whoa! He stole everyone's spondoolies.
Yeah. He's a ninja.
Yeah, so it's a set of cards, then it's a dial cover, then it's a painted Z95, then it's a painted fire spray. So, look, they're all doing it.
I think most of them have done it.
Most of you have done it. I'm sure you're all just double checking. It's normally saying you get a ticket when you haven't had a ticket. So let's draw it, John. Let's draw the. Can you draw 4?
Yeah, I can draw 4.
And then you give me the top one down.
Yeah.
So the first winner, and you are getting this card. Oh no, this card, and this card.
So entries are closed now, and the winner for the cards is Marty, Captain Rex.
Captain Rex, well done, mate. You win a lot, Captain Rex. It's not a fix. Just because I love him and he's my ex-wing dad. Captain Rex, you get the cards.
And
the second winner will be receiving this beautiful open-faced clone helmet. Flying the Arcs, these ones. This is the one Oddball's in. You're welcome, Dad. Love you, man.
And the next one is...
And the winner is... Corporal Hicks. Hey! I've got your address, brother. I'll send it out to you. And the next prize is this beautiful, I like to call it Andrew Shoelacquer in his Z95. And the winner is... Bengar! You win painted Z95, Bengar. And now the big prize. Massive drum roll. And what you've all been waiting for is the Calf Scarlet beautiful repaint, which this camera doesn't do any justice to at all.
And the winner is...
Goes to... Death Revived 1991. Well done, mate. I'm not sure who Death Revived is.
I'm not sure.
Actually, which is really nice. I love that when it goes to...
Oh, holy hell.
Death Revived.
Whisper us an address to send it out to.
Yeah, you can either whisper us an address or you can personally message Rasta Maice and I'll get it posted out to you in the next day or two, recorded first class. That'll be coming to you, so it won't just get lost in the post, I promise. Fab Bengar, you're going to have to give me a bit of a hug and a cuddle. I will send out the other 2 winners. Just give us a couple of days, but thank you so much and congratulations to all the winners. I hope you're happy. I hope none of you are disappointed that contributed to the stretch goal and didn't win, but it goes a long way, and honestly, I can pay my council tax now tomorrow.
It makes a big difference.
Makes a huge difference. You've been really great. Thank you, Ben Lane. Thank you to some of the newer names we're seeing in the chat. Really nice to have new people. And if this is you guys' first experience of watching, or you're a regular, please share this out with people in your local communities, in your local areas, your local countries, and get them watching, because this tonight we've had over 60 viewers pretty much all night long.
Yeah.
I'd be love to get it to that point where we're at 160, 200 viewers every single night.
Yeah.
And at that point, I will start giving away insane stuff, big ghosts and epic ships painted and stuffs from Worlds and really valuable acrylic items as well. So yeah, I'll do my best to keep you all happy. It's been awesome.
The credits will roll in a minute.
Yes, and listen, at the end of each stream, those of you that have donated and cheered and subbed and done anything like that, you will get your name put in the credits. So please stay, watch, chat amongst yourselves. Heist, Jewel, do whatever you can do. Tune in tomorrow night for Tuesday night. Akash, you wanted to be in the credits. I like it, because it's like Star Wars, you see. Tune in tomorrow night for Tuesday night Fly Casual. I hope to be up. If I'm up, I will do my best to get on stream with my new sexy painted ships, if I can procure the magnets for them. If not, have a great night watching that, and join in this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, because it's our monthly tournament, and we will have our usual game streams on both days. So thank you very much. Weekend Warlords, Rasta Maice Painting, one love. Peace, people.